Kristi Coleman, CEO of Tepper Sports and Entertainment and President of the Carolina Panthers. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, NFL valuations are booming. The average team is worth $7.1 billion. Carolina Panthers are at $5.7 billion. How are you thinking about growth in terms of the league going forward?
The biggest thing we have going on right now is our Bank of America stadium renovation. So we're investing at least $800 million in the stadium through a public-private partnership with the city of Charlotte. And that'll help us tremendously with our fans and really enhance the experience for them as they come into Bank of America Stadium. We're going to, increase expand the concourses. We'll have better food offerings and also a new seat for every single fan that comes in the door. New state-of-the-art technology, scoreboards, and then some new premium offerings as well as an expanded team store. So we're really excited about that. And that'll all be done by 2030. Our fan-facing construction starts in 2027. So we had a lot of work to do, but we're really excited.
No, it sounds that way. And I guess, when you think about how many teams in the league are approaching new buildings or renovations, how are you thinking about kind of this arms race for keep upgrading the building, kind of adding premium, adding sponsorship inventory? How do you kind of look at all that?
It's great actually right now because we can all kind of feed off of what other people are doing, and we can look at what other facilities are doing to make sure that we're doing the best that we can. So it's kind of nice to be able to look at like the Buffalo Bills, the Tennessee Titans, different people. Washington has a new one coming on, maybe Kansas City soon. So it's good to be able to see what they're doing as well and make sure that we have the most cutting edge technology and kind of feed off of each other.
Obviously, with media rights locked at the league level, you kind of have to get creative to kind of grow your own revenues. Is there a particular area, even with the new the renovation rather, coming online that you're most bullish about? Is it the premium? Is it kind of adding sponsorship assets? Is there something we don't even know about at this point?
Well, you want to do all of those things, of course. So you definitely want to add more premium products. You definitely want to add more sponsorship elements. All of those things add to the bottom line. But we also are looking at AI and technology and what will those things do to enhance the fan experience. You look at what they've done at like Intuit Dome and those things. We've actually hired Deloitte to help us look at what different AI capabilities and technology capabilities we can put into our stadium. So I think there's a lot of different opportunities. It's just how to tap into those.
What about ancillary facilities like a practice facility? Not necessarily, fans aren't going into the practice facility, but there are revenue opportunities there as well.
So we are building a new practice facility. Our practice facility will open in 2027 in time for training camp. But we're also building a music venue. So we'll have a 4,400 seat music venue right outside the stadium, which we're really excited about because really that makes Charlotte a destination, an entertainment destination. So you can go to a concert on a Friday night, a soccer match on a Saturday, and a football game on a Sunday. So it really expands our offerings for our fans.
Well,
for sure.
I think every project I've seen in sports over the last God knows how many years, there's some sort of mixed-use real estate development, other projects anchored onto it as well. How do you think about that? How do you think about developing the land around the stadium or adding kind of ancillary venues, like you said, with the music venue?
Sure. We are adding the music venue with the joint venture with Live Nation. We may have a hotel or something. We expect that there will be a lot of growth around the stadium. I'm not sure if Dave is going to be in the development business or not, but certainly we expect more to come.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And of course, this is an exciting time because there's reportedly a team on the market. I'm wondering when another team goes to sale, how much are you guys kind of looking towards that and seeing how that's going to impact the market and your own valuation in the future?
Well, of course you look at what the value is going to be of the team, and everybody's looking around to see what that is. And as private equity has come into the league, I think that's only driven the values up. So we'll all be watching for sure.
How does having the MLS team in the portfolio as well? Because there's a few examples of whether it's New England, Atlanta, and you guys of having MLS and NFL together. But what does having that MLS club do for you?
It's great. It gives us a larger platform, right? And we've got the fan crossover isn't that high. So there's really something for everyone, and I think that really helps from a partnership perspective as well. And we're fortunate because it's all in one building, right? So it's definitely enhancing to our portfolio to have soccer.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. And there's a point I'm going to get to later about how it's enhancing, but obviously, MLS is a rapidly changing league. It's evolving relative to the other sports leagues. It's younger. How are you thinking about kind of the changes coming down the pipe for the league in terms of Charlotte? And the two big ones that stand out, The league announced the intended schedule change, but also the Apple deal was restructured, and that's going to end differently now. So how are you thinking about those in terms of Charlotte directly?
We're very fortunate in Charlotte for the schedule change because our weather is great most of the year. So we're not as worried about the cold weather season. But the schedule change, it's still 90% the same as what it was before. So just kind of flipping, which I think is actually fantastic for the playoffs, and it gives the playoffs, it kind of takes it out of that window of NFL and college football and puts it in a time when it's less busy in other sports, which I think is great, so more people can focus on MLS at that time. But then also for the players and the transfer windows, I think it definitely helps from that perspective as well to make the league more competitive. So it's all very exciting. A lot of good stuff happening, and with Apple, it's very, very important, I think, for our fans to be able to watch our product. And with the paywall behind the paywall, I think having one less paywall is helpful from that perspective.
How do you think the league gets to kind of that critical mass moment? Because the North American sports landscape is crowded, the NFL is king, and as far as Charlotte, like, you guys have an incredible game day business, but those national level revenues are what really, take it up a level. So how does the league, or even how does Charlotte help the league hit that critical mass?
We're so fortunate. Charlotte is a soccer city, right? I mean, we're not a World Cup destination, but we're really excited. We've got the U.S. men's national team playing in May, and then the World Cup is happening, and then we'll end with All-Stars in Charlotte. And we're very fortunate because, like I said, Charlotte is a soccer city. We'll be a host to a base camp. It's not public yet, but we're really excited about all of the things, and all of that, I guess to your earlier question, really helps when you look at us, the total platform and what all Tepper Sports has to offer. We've got soccer, which brings in a global audience, and we've got NFL, which is, you said it, not king. So it's great, but the audiences are different, and it's good to be able to bring both in.
Well, when you have kind of the World Cup exposure, in whatever form it is, how do you think about actually driving that as revenue back to whether it's the soccer club, the NFL team? Like, what can you do to bring that? Because, obviously the interest will be high and there'll be notoriety, but what can you do to turn that into actual money on the bottom line?
Well, the last time World Cup was here, soccer took off, right? And I think that's what we're all kind of looking at it to do, because all eyes are going to be on, World Cup, but then also we're hoping MLS coming out of that, which with All-Stars being hosted in Charlotte, again, just kind of a springboard. And we think that'll be helpful for us in Charlotte, and we think for soccer in general. So
when you have, a stadium like Bank of America Stadium, you have these clubs, obviously they don't play every night. How do you think about events in the stadium? How do you use that to kind of, create a buffer or kind of add to the bottom line?
It is really important to have all the world-class events at our stadium. We're excited about all the concerts. We hosted Savannah Bananas, 150,000 people over 2 nights. So we are consistently looking to bring those types of events in. For us right now, timing will be key, because we're about to embark on a renovation, and both of our teams will continue to play, and we'll continue to try to host concerts while we can, and other events during that time period as well.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your Savannah Bananas experience, because I saw them at Yankee Stadium, and I'm wondering what it looked like in Bank of America Stadium, which has way more seats.
It was incredible, and it was really a night to remember. I went both nights, and my kids, I have 9 and 7-year-old boys, and they had an absolute blast, and it really was a family-friendly environment and great for all.
How do you think about the team valuations in terms of, you have a unique situation where the sum of the parts is more than the overall. Not every team has an NFL, not every MLS team has an NFL team to lean on, not every NFL team has an MLS to bolster them as well. How do you think about valuation growth in the future with both of them kind of working together?
Well, we're fortunate because we can drive efficiencies by having both properties, but then also in the same stadium. So it's helpful for us from that perspective. We're not, located in different areas, so sharing the stadium I think is most helpful for us, but then also through this renovation I think will help us greatly through the valuation, and that's really what we're looking at. We're not just doing the renovation for NFL, we're not just doing the renovation for MLS or for concerts. It's really with everything in mind, and hopeful to garner more and more fans.
Okay, biggest short-term goal, biggest long-term goal? What do you got?
The renovation is actually both. It's a lot. We've got at least $800 million in a very short amount of time, and we only have one shot. You don't do these kind of renovations every year or that often, and so I feel like we have kind of one shot to get this right.
Why is it so important to kind of have public involvement in this? Obviously as valuations go up, or wealthier individuals come to sports, there's always a level of criticism about public money, but why is it crucial to have the public-private partnership in this case?
Well, we work together. We work so great. It's been a really great relationship with the city of Charlotte to get this done. And it's really the hospitality industry, the economic development that comes with having a stadium, NFL team and MLS team and concerts and Savannah Bananas, at our stadium is really important for the community. And we view the stadium as a community asset. We hold voting. When COVID, we did shots at the stadium. So we really view the stadium as a community asset.
Well, what's the biggest obstacle you're facing, whether it's at the NFL level, MLS, or stadium, in terms of holding back the growth that is coming down the pipe?
I wouldn't say that there's any major obstacles from any of the leagues or anything. Everybody has been very wonderful to work with. We've obviously worked closely with NFL. We've worked closely with MLS and the city of Charlotte to make sure that all of this is within the realm and the boundaries of what each league is looking for, and also to live up to the expectations of our city.
So, good years across the board. What should we expect next year for both Charlotte FC and the Carolina Panthers?
So this year, 2026, we just were NFC South champions, so there's high expectations, I think, for us for this year, which we're so excited about the season and can't wait. Soccer, same thing, came off the playoffs, and we expect to have a great soccer team this year as well. So, we aren't a World Cup host, but we are planning a huge lineup of concerts and events, and so we're really excited. We're cramming it all in before the renovation really gets started. So there's a lot to be excited about, and it's going to be a great year.
Kristi Coleman, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.